The learning intention of today's lesson is to develop thinking with patterns and equivalents by continuing number patterns involving addition and subtraction. In this lesson, to be successful, we're going to learn how to describe number patterns involving addition and subtraction. So I'm going to show you how to do this. Up the top here is our number pattern: 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Now it's getting bigger, so it's increasing. I need to figure out what it's increasing by. So I can use a number chart as a resource if I need to, or I might already be able to identify what pattern is happening. So what is it getting bigger by each time? So with my highlighter, and using my number board as a resource, I would find those numbers. So 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. And already I can see that from 3 to 5, it has added on 2. From 5 to 7, it has added on 2 as well. From 7 to 9, it has added on 2, and from 9 to 11, it has also added on 2, and from 11 to 13, it has added on 2. So to describe what's happening with this pattern, I might say it is increasing, so it's getting bigger. It is adding on 2 each time in the pattern. Okay, and that's how we would describe a number pattern. Let's take a look at another example. Okay, so this example, 3, 8, 13, 18, 23. There's definitely a pattern happening. I can see that it's increasing, so I could already start to describe that part. It is increasing. Now we need to look at what is it increasing by. So if I still need the number board as a resource, so remember here I'm thinking what's happening between 3 and 8? What have I added to 3 to make it 8? So let's have a look at the number board. Here's 3 and here's the number 8. Let's see what it's added on by. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it has added 5. Let's see what happens between 8 and 13. So here's 13 down here. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's added 5 as well. I better just check this is continuing the whole way through the pattern. So then we're looking from 13 to 18. What's being added? So here's 18 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's added 5 as well. So plus 5. And then from 18 to 23, I think it's going to be add 5, but I'm going to check. So here's 23 down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it's definitely adding 5. So now to finish describing this number pattern, I need to say what it's increasing by. So, it is adding on 5 each time. Okay, now we've described 2 patterns. Let's take a look at another one. Now here's our pattern here, 3, 5, 8, 12, 17. I'm going to use the number board as a tool to help me work this out. So I'm going to highlight those numbers, 3, 5, 8, 12, and 17. Okay, my first job is to see what's happening between 3 and 5. So if I look at the number board, 3, I've counted on 2. So I've added 2 to get to 5. All right, let's see what's happening between 5 and 8. If I go to my number board, here's 5. It's counted on 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's added 3. Let's see what's happening between 8 and 12. go to the number board. Let's check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is interesting. I think I can see a pattern here. And then adding from 12 to 7. What if I added to 12 to make to 17? Let's check that out on the number board too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus 5. Okay, so this number pattern is definitely increasing, but it is also, it's not increasing by 2 every time. They are adding plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5. So what they're adding is increasing by 1 each time. So to describe this pattern, I would say it is increasing. Each time they are adding 1 more on. It is a growing pattern because what I'm increasing it by is getting bigger itself each time. Okay, the last pattern here, let's take a look. Let's see if we can do it without the number board. So we've got 169, 159, 149, 139. Oh, the first thing I notice is that I'm actually getting, the numbers are actually getting smaller. So I know that this is a decreasing pattern. So it's decreasing. Let's take a look at the numbers and how they're decreasing. Okay, so I can see that they're all in the hundreds. They've always got a 9 on the end, but this number here in the tens column is changing. So I'm going 69, 59, 49, 39. It's decreasing in tens. So they're taking away 10 each time. So to describe that, I would say decreasing. So it is taking away 10 each time. Okay, so there's another way that we describe patterns. They're not always going to be increasing. Some of them might be decreasing because we are subtracting or taking away. Here's another example. Let's have a look here. We've got 65, 63, 61, 59, 57. Again, the numbers are getting smaller, so it's decreasing. It is decreasing. Okay, if I go over to my number board and find those numbers, so it started on 65, then it went to 63, then it went to 61, then it went to 59, and then it went to 57. I can already see a little bit of a pattern here. It is taking away 2 each time. So to continue the description of this pattern, it is subtracting 2 each time. And our very last pattern, let's take a look at what's happening with this one. Okay, so it says 61, 65, 64, 68, 67, 71, 70. Oh, I'm noticing it's getting bigger, then smaller, bigger, then smaller, bigger, then smaller. Let's take a look at what's happening on our number board. So here is 61, and then it goes up to 65. So let's take a look at what's happening between these two numbers here. So 61, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's actually adding on 4 more to get to 65. Let's take a look at what's happening from 65 to 64. You could probably already see that on your number board. It's taking away 1. Okay, then from 64, it's going up again. So we're adding on. Let's have a look on the number board. So from 64 to 68 over here, let's see what they're counting on by. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, they've added 4. Okay, then we've got from 68 to 67, it's getting smaller again. So here's 68 over here, and 67 is right beside it. Yeah, it's taking away 1. Then it's moving from 67 to 71. So let's take a look at that on the number board. So from 67 here to 71 down here, let's count on what's happening there. So it's gone 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's adding on 4. And then from 71 to 70, it's getting smaller again. Here's 71 down here, here's 70. It's taking away 1. Oh, so let's have a look at this pattern and describe it. It's adding 4, then taking away 1. Adding 4, take away 1. Add 4, take away 1. So if I was going to write a description for this one, I would say just that. This sequence, or this pattern, adds 4, then subtracts 1. And that's how I would describe that pattern. Okay, now it's your turn to have a practice at describing number patterns.